Good morning, boys and girls. It is Mrs. Johnson here with your first grade ELA. We are going to have a wonderful day today, so I want to show you our agenda for the day so you know what we're in for. So let's get started. Let me pull up the slideshow real quick. Okay, let's see. Technical difficulties. There we go. Okay, so today we are going to do some Flipbook review. Come on, computer. And there we go. Some Flipbook review. Then we're going to do something called Introducing the Sound, where I'm going to give you the sound of letters, and then we're going to do the spelling of the letters with introducing the spelling. So then after that, we will do a story and a little bit of writing, and let's dive right in. Okay, so for Flipbook review today, we are going to be talking about a letter sound that has many different kinds of sounds. So I'm going to write something on my board. You can see me. Let me double check. Oh, I got to tip it off. Okay, so I'm going to write a word on the board, and I want you to try and pronounce the word as you see it written. Okay, take a look at it and try to sound it out. Okay, so now that you've had a moment to think about it, do you think the letter A, let me get a different marker. The letter A is pronounced like the A in hat. So in hat, remember we have our bars, is at, hat. So let's try it for this word. At, flat. Does that sound right? Yes, it does sound right. So this A tells us it is spelled with the letter A in written words. So when we have this, it's spelled A. The power bar here shows me that this is a common way to write the sound ah. So if I were trying to spell and write a word with the sound, like flat or clap or snap, I would spell it with the letter A. In fact, it is the only spelling for the sound ah. Right? Right. Okay. So that is our Flipbook review for today. Now we're going to go into introducing the sound. So today's sound is E, as in eat, feet. Can you say the E sound? Let's do it a few times. E. So it looks like, let me get a different color marker. E actually has two E's because it's a long E. So a long E can mean many things, but today our long E is E. Okay? So I want you to repeat the following words that have the E sound at the beginning. So we have eat, each, east, and eagle. So say it with me now. Eat, each, east, and eagle. Now I want you to repeat these words that have the E sound in the middle. peace, greet, meet, and heat. Let's try one more time. Peace, greet, meet, and heat. So that had the E sound in the middle. Now repeat these ones after me with the E sound at the end. So we'll go bee, then bumblebee, me, key, and tree. So we have bee, me, key, and tree. Do you think that E sound is a vowel sound for a consonant sound? It is a vowel sound made with an open mouth and an unobstructed flow of air. I just had a little brain tickle. So it is a vowel sound because E is made with an open mouth. And remember, our consonants have it with kind of your mouth closed, like S, D, D. Very good. That was a little bit of review. So now I'm going to say a number of words, and some of the words will have the E sound as their middle sound, and some will not. So I want you to close your eyes and listen carefully. You're going to raise your hand when you hear a sound that has the E sound as its middle sound. Okay, so here's our middle sound. Let's try it. Cheek. Cheek. Open your eyes. Yes, that has our middle sound. Okay, how about cheap? Close your eyes. Cheap. Raise your hand if you think it's the middle sound. Cheap. Very good. All our hands were raised. Okay, here's our next one. Close your eyes. Bed. Bed. Open your eyes. No, that sound is our regular E sound. It isn't our vowel sound for E. It's bed, not bead, or that would be a bead. Okay, here's our next one. Close your eyes. Meet. Meet. Open your eyes. Very good. You all had your hands raised. Okay, here's our next one. Close your eyes. Pin. Pin. Open your eyes. No, that one is our I sound, not our E sound. So now here's our next one. Close your eyes and raise your hand if you hear it. Deep. 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 Open your eyes. Very good. That has our E in the middle. Okay, here's our next one. Close your eyes. Bean. Bean. Do we have that? Oh, that one's a tricky one. So bean is in our E sound. It would be bean. Oh, that is our long E. It's the same sound, but it's spelled differently. That's a different long E. So we don't raise our hand for that one. Okay, but our next one, this is our last one. Let's see. Close your eyes. Hen. Hen. Nope, we didn't raise our hands. Very good, because hen is our sound, not our E sound. Okay, now we're going to introduce our spelling. So I'm going to show you how to write the E sound. All right. Oh, I already did that right here. So our E sound, which is in our power bars, remember, that's a common spelling for that sound. And we're going to look at this poster I made for us. But first, when we're writing our E sound, we go, if we're writing bumblebee, the E, we have our two E's for B. Okay? I'm going to show you this poster I made that will help a little bit with your understanding. Okay, so here we have our anchor chart of our long E. All right, so don't pay attention to this side. We'll get to that one later. We're going to pay attention to this side, which is our E sound with 2 E's for our spelling. So when we spell something like, we have here sheep, we have SH, that tricky sound that we've learned, with our double E's and a P to make sheep. Then we have teeth. Then we have tree, Jeep, seed, and weed. Do you have any letter or any words that might have double E in them other than the ones I have up here? You can shout them out. I'll write them up here. Those are some great words. We didn't write that one yet. Feet. Feet. I'll write it over here. Feet. Feet. Very good. And do we have any more that you think have a double E? We did tree. How about another one? Meat. We didn't spell meat yet. Let's do meat. Meat. This meat is not like chicken or steak meat. It's as I'm going to meet my new baby sister, or I'm going to meet a new friend. So it's when you're meeting someone for the first time, or you're meeting someone for lunch. It's when you get together with somebody. Very good. You guys did amazing. So we'll come back to our long E chart. So as you can see up here, I have 2 different spellings. And one spelling for this sound, E, is spelled double E, like we've talked about. But on this side, we have E-A, which when we were doing our introducing the sound a little bit ago, and we raised our hands for being, because it did have the E in it, we didn't raise our hands because it wasn't spelled B-E-E-N for being. That's not being. Being is spelled B-E-A-N. So we have the E-A now for our E sound. So being with E-A. Then our next one is team. Team, like we have a sports team we like, or we work together as a team. Team is spelled T-E-A-M, team. Okay, our next one is sea, like going down to the sea to watch the waves, or going to the seashore. So sea sounds like the letter C, but it's not. It's actually the C with S-E-A, sea. Okay, our next one, I don't know if you can see my little figure, is leap. See, she's leaping that way. So leap is spelled L-E-A-P, leap. Okay, then we have our next one, which is clean. K-U-E-N, clean. But it's spelled with the E-A, not the double E. So we have clean. Then our next one is beach. So beach sounds like B-E-A-C-H, beach. Okay, beach has E-A, not double E. All right, now let's move on to our reading time. So we are going to be reading a story, and it is read aloud from our big book, and I'm going to show you on my screen the book because we're obviously not in person. So let me pull it up for you real fast so we can all see it together. Okay, so this story is called Gran. All right, what do you think the name Gran is short for? Yeah, Gran could be short for grandma or grandmother. So this book has 3 main characters or people in our story, and one is named Gran, and then she has her grandchildren, Josh and Jen. So we learn that Gran is very adventurous and she likes to try new things. So I'm going to show you, we're going to read the story one time with no interruptions. Then we're going to come back and read the story, and I'm going to point out a few things and ask some questions along the way. All right? So let's move on to our story, Gran. Okay. So this is, oh, first I want to show you. Okay, this page right here that has a bunch of sentences and then it has numbers is called a table of contents. So a table of contents shows us where we can find certain stories on certain pages. If we're looking for a certain thing, like if I come down here and go, oh, I already read all these stories, but the next one I need to read is the swim meet. So I would move my finger all the way over to 26, and 26 is the page number that the story, the swim meet, is on. Okay, so that's our table of contents. And then see, there's more table of contents over here. And this looks like Gran. All right. So our first story is called Gran's Trip. When will Gran get here? Josh asks. Jen shrugs. Just then, Josh and Jen see a cab on the street. See right there, we have our double E's. Jen see a cab on the street. Gran is here, Jen yells. When Gran steps up from the cab, Josh and Jen run up to get a hug. Was the trip fun? Josh asks. Which one? Gran asks. I went on 3 trips. Where to? Asks Josh. One was to the Swiss Alps, says Gran. In the Alps, there were steep cliffs. I went up to the top of one cliff, but it was slick. I fell and had to cling to the rocks. No, says Jen. Yes, says Gran. Here is a snapshot. Look at Gran. She's climbing up icy rock mountain. She's crazy. Oops. What was the next trip? Josh asks. I went to Hong Kong, says Gran. What is in Hong Kong? Lots of stuff, says Gran. In Hong Kong, I met a man who sings and has wings on his back. No, says Josh. Yes, says Gran. Here is a snapshot. So here's Gran in Hong Kong. What was the last trip? Asks Jen. I went to the Gulf to swim with the eels and feed the fish, says Gran. No, says Jen. Yes, says Gran. Here is a snapshot. See, here she is feeding eels and fish. Which trip was the best? Josh asks. This one, Gran says. The one where I get to see Josh and Jen. Yay, that was a great story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Gran made some crazy adventures, it seems like. We are going to read the story one more time, and I'm going to explain some of the stuff throughout the way, okay? All right, so let's read the story one more time. Okay. Whoops. Gran's trips. When will Gran get here? Josh asks. Jen shrugs. So what does shrug mean? Do you know what shrug means? Shrug, I just did it. Shrug, like, I don't know. Maybe. That's what shrug means. Just then, Josh and Jen see a cab on the street. Gran is here. Do you see right here where I'm circling? What kind of mark is that? What kind of punctuation mark is that? That's right, it's an exclamation point. So we're talking about, Gran is here, Jen yells. So Jen is yelling and exclaiming, so she uses her exclamation point. When Gran steps from the cab, Josh and Jen run up to get a hug. Was the trip fun? I see another punctuation mark that we talked about before. What does this punctuation mark mean? It's a question mark. Very good. So our question mark indicates what? What is that sentence? It's a question. Very good. So it says, was the trip fun? Josh asks. Which one? Gran asks. I went on 3 trips. Where to? Asks Josh. And then right here, I'm going to point out what's another punctuation mark we see. Our quotation marks. That's right, because this is exactly what Gran is saying. So Gran is saying, one was to the Swiss Alps, end quotation, says Gran. So see, she said that. In the Alps, there were steep cliffs. Do we know what steep means? Steep means it's a very tall climb. It isn't just like a gradual climb. It's really steep, like this is how high you would climb. That's what steep means. I went up to the top of one cliff, but it was slick. I fell and had to cling to the rocks. No, says Jen. Yes, says Gran. Here is a snapshot. What was the next trip? Josh asks. Where did they go next before I tell you? So she just went to the Swiss Alps, and where did she go next? Where there was this man with wings and that sings. Where did they go? Very good. They went to Hong Kong. I went to Hong Kong, says Gran. What is in Hong Kong? Lots of stuff, says Gran. In Hong Kong, I met a man who sings and has wings on his back. No, says Josh. Yes, says Gran. Here is a snapshot. Okay, where does Gran go next? Do we remember what she did? Do you remember what she did or where she went? Either one will work. She was in the ocean. What else? She fed the eels. Yes, that's right. And what was that ocean called? The silly word. Gulf. Yes, the Gulf. Very good. What was the last trip? Asks Jen. I went to the Gulf to swim with the eels and feed the fish, says Gran. So I don't want you guys to be confused with what the word Gulf means. Gulf is a place with water like the ocean, but golf, as in the sport golf, is when we're playing with our golf clubs to get our golf ball into a hole. That's not the same as this gulf, which is referring to the body of water. Okay? All right. No, says Jen. Yes, says Gran. Here is a snapshot. Which trip was the best? Josh asks. This one, Gran says. The one where I get to see Josh and Jen. Yay, we got to read that story again, and it's amazing. So, I want to ask you some more questions. Who are the main characters of this story? Gran, Josh, and Jen. Very good. And what are Josh and Jen doing at the very beginning of the story? That's right. They're waiting for Gran. Very good. And where did Gran go before she came to see Josh and Jen? What were the 3 places she went to? The Gulf, right? Hong Kong and the Swiss Alps. That's right. And what did Gran do in the Swiss Alps? Yeah, she climbed the steep cliffs. That's right. And who did Gran meet in Hong Kong? The man with the wings? Yes, he was actually an opera singer. That's right. And what did Gran do when she visited the Gulf? What did she do in that water? That's right. She swam with the eels and she fed the fish. Very good. Okay, I'm going to say some words and I want you to give me a thumbs up if you think the word describes Gran, or a thumbs down if you think it does not. Okay? So thumbs up if you think it's Gran, thumbs down if you don't think it's Gran. First word, lazy. Lazy. You think Gran is lazy? No, I think Gran is very not lazy. I don't think that's Gran at all. What about adventurous? Adventurous, like they like to travel and do fun stuff. Do you think that's Gran? Yes or no? Yeah, Gran is very adventurous. What about fun? Do you think Gran is fun? Yeah, I'd give a thumbs up for that too. What about shy? Do you think Gran is shy? No, that's not Gran. Gran is not shy at all. That's right. Okay, boys and girls, we have come to the end of our lesson. How did that go by so quickly? I'll never know. But I'm so glad I got to share my lesson with you today. I know we went over a few things that were a little confusing, like our long E's, but we will practice and we'll come back to it all the time. Also, you can find some parents, if you're listening, or loved ones or caretakers, whoever it may be. If you need help with long E's with your kids, you can practice. There's some worksheets on Engage New York under the skill strand for first grade ELA. We are on unit 2 now, and we just did lesson 1, and there's some worksheets that will help the kiddos learn the long E's, how they look in a word and how they sound. So that would be helpful if you want to print that out or even just have them do it on the computer too. But boys and girls, let's wrap up our lesson and see what we did today. Did we do a flipbook review? We did, because we did our A sound that sounds like hat for flat. Ah, ah, ah. Very good. What about introducing the sound? What sound did we introduce today? E, E, E. That's right, our E sound, like eat, eat. And then we learned the spelling, which was how many E's? Double E, so we have 2 E's for that sound. That's right. And then we did our story of Gran. That's right, Gran's trip. Okay, boys and girls, we did all of our checklists today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you again for the next lesson. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.